Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the most pressing political developments shaping South Africa today. If you're passionate about accountability, governance, and the future of our economy, then you're in the right place. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below to share your views. Let's get into today's headline: a major political and legal shakeup that could have massive implications for Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana, the National Treasury, and the people of South Africa. In a dramatic turn of events, the Western Cape High Court has ruled against the implementation of the proposed increase in value-added tax, or VAT, from 15% to 15.5%. This decision has sent shockwaves through the halls of government and parliament alike, setting off a firestorm of political commentary and calls for accountability. And leading that charge is none other than Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, leader Julius Malema. Malema has now joined the Democratic Alliance. Yes, you heard that right, the EFF and DA, two parties with radically different ideologies, found themselves united in their legal opposition to what they described as an unlawful and unjust VAT hike. Both parties took the matter to court, challenging not only the VAT increase itself but also the parliamentary process through which it was passed. The court sided with them, ruling that the adoption of the 2025 fiscal framework and revenue proposals was unlawful, and suspending the VAT increase entirely. Now, in the wake of this legal victory, Julius Malema isn't holding back. He's calling for the immediate resignation of Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana and his Director General Duncan Pieterse. According to Malema, this is about more than just a technical error, it's a symptom of a broader failure within the ANC-led National Treasury to uphold democratic principles and act in the interest of the people. Malema described the court ruling as a triumph not just for political parties, but for ordinary South Africans, particularly the poor and working class, who would have borne the brunt of higher VAT. As we all know, VAT is a regressive tax, which means it disproportionately affects lower-income households who spend a larger share of their income on basic goods and services. An increase of even half a percentage point might seem small on paper, but for millions of families struggling to make ends meet, it would have made life even harder. Malema made it clear that the EFF believes Godongwana and Pieterse have failed in their duties. He said, and I quote, "These individuals have proven themselves incapable of formulating a lawful, credible, and developmental budget." That's a serious accusation, one that raises questions about how decisions are being made inside Treasury and whether alternative voices and ideas are being silenced in favor of austerity. Let's talk about that word, austerity. The rejected fiscal framework was built around tight spending, cost-cutting, and, of course, tax hikes to close a 75 billion budget shortfall. But Malema argues that these austerity measures are both economically damaging and socially unjust. The EFF has consistently called for a different path, a more redistributive and transformative approach to public finance. Their proposals include rejecting any VAT increases, adjusting personal income tax brackets so higher earners pay more, raising corporate income tax, and introducing a wealth tax, particularly on underutilized and luxury land holdings. According to Malema, these ideas offer a credible and progressive alternative, one that doesn't put the burden on the poor while letting the wealthy and big corporations off the hook. Whether or not you agree with the EFF's economic philosophy, it's clear that this moment has opened up a critical national conversation about how we manage the country's finances. But Malema didn't stop there. He accused the ANC of manipulating parliamentary processes to bulldoze the budget through despite lacking a clear majority. He called it an institutional betrayal, saying that instead of respecting Parliament's evolving makeup, where no single party now holds a majority, the ANC chose to sidestep democratic norms in order to push through its preferred fiscal plan. This isn't just a technical critique, it's a political bombshell. In essence, Malema is suggesting that the ANC is struggling to adjust to its new reality, one where it can no longer govern with unchecked authority. That's a serious allegation, and it speaks to a deeper instability in the post-majority political environment we now find ourselves in. Looking ahead, Malema has demanded that a new and credible third budget for the 2025-26 financial year be tabled no later than July. The EFF, he says, is ready to come to the table with meaningful and substantive proposals that prioritize economic recovery, mass employment, reindustrialization, and the rebuilding of essential public services. On the other side of the political spectrum, the Democratic Alliance has also welcomed the court's decision. DA Federal Council Chairperson Helen Zille called the passing of the fiscal framework through Parliament unlawful and celebrated the court's ruling as a win for all South Africans. According to Zille, this means that the VAT increase, originally set to kick in on May 1st, has been officially stopped, and the entire fiscal framework process will now have to be restarted, this time, properly. What makes this situation particularly interesting is the political dynamic it exposes. The DA is currently part of the Government of National Unity alongside the ANC. Yet, here they are, taking legal action against the very government they are technically working with. That signals growing tensions within the GNU, tensions that could have far-reaching consequences ahead of the 2026 elections. Finance Minister Godongwana, for his part, has acknowledged the court's decision but is standing by his original proposal. He argues that the budget was lawful, constitutional, and necessary, given the financial constraints facing the state. Let's not forget, South Africa is staring down a massive R75 billion revenue shortfall, and without new revenue sources or cuts, it becomes nearly impossible to fund existing programs, let alone invest in growth. So, where does this leave us? First, the court's ruling has put Treasury on the back foot and created a real constitutional crisis for the budget process. Second, it has exposed deep cracks in the political coalition running the country. And third, it has elevated the debate over who pays for South Africa's recovery, and how. Will government choose to tax the rich and big corporations more, as the EFF proposes? Or will it return to austerity and risk further social unrest? And perhaps more importantly, can Parliament function in this new era of coalition politics, or are we heading into an even more fragmented and dysfunctional phase? One thing is clear, the political and fiscal stakes have never been higher. As always, we'll be following this story closely, bringing you updates, analysis, and insights into how it affects you and your community. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to leave a comment below. What do you think about the VAT increase being blocked? Should Godongwana resign, as Malema demands? Or was his budget proposal justified given the tough economic conditions? Let us know your thoughts. See you next time.